All right, DeGents. This is the Distinguished DeGents podcast. I am Steve Big Bucks Beta in my Broncos gear, ready for our flight tomorrow for this Buffalo trip to go to the Monday night game. Joining me, as always, online is Jason Money Mansmann, representing his Buffalo Bills.
That's right, baby.
I am beyond hype. I am ready for this pre-tip degeneracy. I am ready to get this week 10 handicap going. Before we do that, though, I got an interesting text from you after the Thursday night game. It reads, and I quote, "I'm going on a Frank Reich rant." Money Mansmann. That was probably the worst Thursday night football game all year. Not what we expected whatsoever. I did try to warn you. Tyson Bagent as a 3.5-point favorite was a rougher go. I was more comfortable with Justin Fields. Pushed on the Bears at 3, no profit. But Monty Mansmann, what the hell happened? What is going on? What the hell is up with Frank Reich?
First off, I hope you're doing well, man. Looking forward to the trip as well.
I'm doing great.
We have several bars in walking distance of where we're staying. That could be a problem.
Oh, let's go. I'm fucking ready.
Yeah.
Wings, some beers.
Yeah, baby. Real buffalo wings, beers, like we're doing this shit. But 5 minutes.
Sure.
Frank Reich. First off, this guy didn't win shit in Indianapolis. This guy sucks. He was a shit fucking coach in Indianapolis. He fucking shouldn't have a job. They should have kept Steve Wilkes in Carolina. This guy is shit. Last night was shit football. Absolute shit football. And
yeah,
Carolina covered. That's not the point. Should have fucking been a tie game. And okay, this guy, they're driving. It's 3rd and 10. Minute 50 left. You have 3 timeouts. You're on the fucking 42-yard line. This motherfucker calls a timeout. 3rd and 10. The clock was stopped. He calls timeout for no fucking reason.
Clock wasn't running down. They didn't know the play. Just out of nowhere. Just let's call timeout. 3rd and 10. Minute 50 to go.
So now you only have 2 timeouts left, which means basically you don't score, the game is over. This fucking asshole, Bryce Young, another overrated Alabama quarterback, midget boy light. That's what he is from now on. Midget boy light. What does midget boy light do? First off, on 2nd and 10, they call a streak pattern incomplete. I mean, you are aware you're fucking like 5 yards away from field goal range, right? But anyway, midget boy light, 3rd and 10, literally tries to force feed the ball to Adam Thielen with like 7 guys draped on him. Everyone in the fucking building knows that's where you're going to throw the football. But midget boy light, who can't even fucking see the field, except to fucking throw it to Adam Thielen, that's what he does. What does Frank Reich do 4th and 10? Let's bring out Eddie Pinheiro for a 59-yard field goal in the worst fucking decision in primetime football since fucking Nathaniel Hackett kicked a 62-yarder in Seattle.
No. Okay, no. A 59-yarder. Oh, God. In Chicago. It's got the same vibes.
In November.
Same vibes.
Eddie Pinheiro. We're not talking about Greg the Leg Zerline. We're not talking about Brandon McManus. We're talking about special teams player of the year. Never, said no one in history. Eddie Pinheiro. And of course, the kick is 5 yards short. And does Carolina get the ball back? No, they lose the game. Shit football. Frank Reich, fire him now. Sucks.
Oh.
Ex-Buffalo Bill, by the way, greatest comeback ever. So he has that.
Eddie Pinheiro.
Eddie Pinheiro. Eddie Pinata. Eddie piece of shit. Eddie pinned the tail on the S-hole. 59 yards in Chicago in November.
Worst that was bad.
Worst decision since, not as bad, but worst decision since.
No, it is worse.
Nathaniel Hackett, 62 yards in Seattle.
That was probably the worst 2-minute drill, but you got to give credit to, no, Eddie Pinheiro was worse, and here's why. Because you had Brandon McManus. And if you listen to the end of the interview, if you ever want to go back for whatever reason, the logic actually made sense at the time. It was, look, pregame, he was kicking it. He was making it from that distance. We had it lined up on the left hash. McManus said he wanted to go for it. We gave him a shot. It was the perfect opportunity for him to try to get that distance. It wasn't favorable, but you could at least get the logic where McManus felt comfortable. I don't get where Eddie Pinheiro kicks a 59-yarder ever.
Okay, now
I'm trying to look up what his longest kick is right now.
You thought just like me. I'm going to look. Eddie Pinheiro. Career.
Come on.
Can we find it?
Can we find it?
This better not be this year. This better not be this year.
Was it really?
This better not be this year. No, it was not in the same game. Oh, this better not have been in the same game.
56.
Bro, I'm seeing 54.
I see 56.
Bro, are you serious?
It was against Minnesota.
Bro, I'm
So let me get this straight. Hold on. So let me get this straight. Frank Reich, Carolina Panthers head coach, calls for Eddie Pinheiro to kick his longest field goal ever in his NFL career to tie a game.
Yeah, career high 56 yards. That are you fucking serious?
I mean, here's my problem with the coaching. Think about it this way. It's 3rd and 10. You've already called timeout. From 59 yards, he throws it incomplete. You're stuck where you're at. If your plan is to have Eddie Pinheiro kick a field goal, why didn't you hand it off with 2 timeouts left? Why do at least get some yards?
Here's another bright idea. Let's say you make the determination that you're going to kick the 59-yard field goal. Hey, Bozo, how about you don't use your fucking timeout on 3rd and 10?
I could see that. I could say that's fair. But look, for whatever reason, say they go for the pass play and you call timeout. Hey, Bryce, there was 10 seconds left. I didn't have enough time to audible to you. We're handing it off. We're kicking the field goal. Don't fuck up. If that was the case, I understand why he calls timeout. You try to get at least 5 yards rushing, if not more, go to kick the field goal to tie the game. Because your offense isn't moving it. You've gotten how many fucking 3 and outs? Bryce Young, midget boy light is not doing the job for you. I could get it. But at this point, 3rd and 10 timeout to throw an incomplete pass to make Eddie Pinheiro kick his longest field goal ever in his NFL career.
No, you know what?
That is the definition of jackass coaching, if I have ever seen it.
By the way, I don't want to be offensive, so I won't be offensive. No longer will I say midget boy light. It's little person light. From now on, and speaking, and I got to watch this guy on Thursday, and little person, the actual little person, the original OG midget boy, is fucking back. Oh, I'm so sad.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. I cannot wait to get to that handicap. But overall, God, that was just my takeaway was just I was right about Tyson Bagent. I knew there was a reason he was a backup. That was that game solidified it. I was like, there's something up with Tyson Bagent. I don't get why he's getting all this love. It was like the Justin Fields love all over again. And I was just like, wait a minute, the guy still lost.
Bro, they're winning.
The guy still didn't.
Though.
He had like 5 turnovers the game before. I was like, wait a minute. Like,
wow, that's true.
He's not that good. And I was like, wait a minute, Carolina? Like, that's why, like, when I thought Justin Fields was returning, I was like, okay, maybe there's actually hope. Like, the 3.5 would make sense as a Justin Fields line. The minute it was Tyson Bagent, I, like, was weary. I was like, I don't know if I want to take 3.5. I got it at 3, and unfortunately it pushed, but I just had a feeling. I knew 3.5 was the wrong number with Tyson Bagent. I wish I had been as bold as you to say Carolina or nothing, but that's just kind of how the game goes. You know, at least it was a push on that end. But either way, like, I mean, we got, I think, 13 other Week 10 games to go through. We got to get to the Monday night game, which is going to be fireworks, folks.
Can we get to, like, real fucking NFL football, please? Dear God, that was dreadful.
Any final messages to Frank Reich since your 5 minutes is almost up?
Fucking bum. He needs to. I can't believe he got hired after that shit in Indianapolis. Anyway, moving on.
It does make you wonder. That's all I'll say. It makes you wonder.
Yeah.
All right. As always, folks, we're introducing we're doing FanDuel odds. As that's the Maryland Live Casino book. Go get your best odds. You can always try DraftKings. We also recommend BetMGM, but go with wherever you want. No advertisements here. We're just giving out picks. Good luck. God bless, DeGents. Money Mansmann, are you ready to roll?
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
All right. Introducing first, we got another Germany game. Last international game of the year.
I said fucking real NFL football. God, I'm in a bad mood tonight. We're going to fight. I said real NFL. That shit.
God, yeah. We're starting off the Week 10 slate with this shit. Indianapolis Colts as the designated road team going up against the New England Patriots in Germany. Colts are minus 1.5 point favorite. The Pats currently a plus 108 dog. Over-unders 43.5, awfully low. Colts are getting 60% of the money and 60% of the bets, according to FanDuel. I think I went first for the Thursday night game, so I'm going to defer this one to you, Mr. Mansmann. What's your pick on this? What's your pick on this one?
I mean, you know what my pick is on this one.
Fuck this game. Fuck Bill Belichick.
Other than this scrub team, when's the last time Mac Jones did fucking anything as an underdog ever? Bill Belichick, 3-0 in international games. I don't care. The Patriots are dead. DOA, dead on arrival. Colts or nothing. Colts is the play. This should be over a field goal. I mean, these teams look light years apart. And Indianapolis isn't even that good. They didn't even play well last week. They'll still probably win by 2 touchdowns. Mac Jones, I can't believe he hasn't been benched yet. Can we put Bailey Zappi in? Can we put whoever the hell else knew, Cunningham or whatever the hell is?
I wonder, conspiracy theory, I wonder if something's up with Bailey Zappi, like injury-wise, or maybe he did something to piss off Belichick. You would have thought by last year it took less to see Bailey Zappi on the field. This year, it's just been all Mac Jones. And I'm wondering if Zappi said something. I wonder if he has an injury that they're not talking about. Kind of makes me wonder.
You almost wonder if, like, Robert Kraft is like, no, we want to see Mac Jones. And Belichick's like, oh, you want to see Mac Jones play? You're going to get a lot of Mac Jones. I mean, this guy is so bad. I was on the Patriots last week. That was stupid. Deserve a swift kick.
Yeah, I was wondering what you were thinking. Yeah, I was wondering what you were thinking there.
No. Anyway, I'm done ranting about this game. This one's real simple. If you're betting Mac Jones as an underdog at this point, it's like surrender your betting account. Like it really just. I mean,
neutral site for you doesn't matter.
The problem is he's 3-0 international, but that was back in 2017. Like that was Tom Brady. Mac Jones, like, he's just no good. The Patriots are no good. I don't know how this fucking bullshit team lost to him. Oh man.
I don't know either. I will say this part doesn't make sense to me logically. As far as Germany games go, the designated home team is 2-0 right now. As you mentioned, Belichick 3-0 in international games. I can't back the Pats either, though. Now, mind you, this was the game that, like, when I looked at it first, not realizing it was a Germany game, I wanted to fade the shit out of Gardner Minshew and the Colts, because really what had happened last week, it was a defensive blowout win against the Panthers. The Pats haven't really won this season in general. They don't really cover outside of Gillette Stadium either. They're 1-4 ATS and straight up on the road in their last 5 against the AFC. They've only won at MetLife against the Jets. 3 straight losses and failed covers on the road. 1-5 straight up in ATS in the last 6 outside of Foxborough. Meanwhile, when you look at the Colts and you look at them outside of their home stadium, 3-1 straight up in ATS against the AFC. They're 3-1 straight up in ATS on the road this season. And again, I know this is neutral site, but the way I'm looking at this is like, how are they outside of their home stadium? Because if you go and do the Pats for like international games, neutral sites, you're getting a lot of Super Bowl stats with Brady. The odds are going to be skewed.
Yeah.
So Colts 6-2 ATS against the AFC East since 2019. Pats are only 3-3 ATS against the AFC South since 2020. Since Tom Brady left. I just think this is a clear Colts or nothing play. I agree with you as well. Over under play, it's an international game. I'm hitting the under. Not much else to really say. Well, think of it this way. Mac Jones hasn't done shit. Gardner Minshew didn't do shit last week. And they're both going to be traveling. It's going to be international. Like, it's really going to come down to defense, and I just like what the Colts have been putting on screen more than I like the Patriots. I'm expecting this to be like another boring-ass Thursday Night Football type-esque game. Like, honestly, this game should have been Thursday night. They should have put the Bears and the fucking Panthers in Germany. That way nobody could watch that shit. But, at least Thursday night, you're like, it's the Colts, the Pats. Like, there's history. Like, I could get it. But
honestly, the question will be, do we drink too much Saturday night and not even like wake up for this game?
That is true. And I couldn't bring myself to do this, but like the UFC pay-per-view is going to be on when we land. Like, is this going to, and it's a good card too. So I'm just like, is this going to be like, God, rest in peace to our livers. It's not going to be good. But
I mean, bro, we only live once, man. So.
Oh, yeah. We'll say that as we go see the Niagara Falls and then don't come back.
Oh, God. We don't make it to the Bills game. We just fucking drown.
No. We're making it to the goddamn Bills game. I'll tell you what. But
are we making it out of the stadium? That's the real question. But no.
I think we will. One of us will. I don't know who, but one of us will. But I'll say this just to end it off. Like, again, like this might be the end of Bill Belichick's career in New England. If he loses this game, he just lost to fucking Ron Rivera at home. You lose in Germany, Bill Belichick might not come back home. He might just stay out there. And not saying he'll get fired. I'm saying he might quit. But we'll see.
Yeah, we will.
All right, moving on. Starting with the 1:00 slate, Eastern time. San Francisco 49ers laying 3 points on the road, non-conference road favorite, -168, up against the Jacksonville Jaguars, +142, +3, home underdog. The over-under is 45.5. That looks like in the last 5 games, the Niners have lost and failed to cover 3 straight. The Jags, 5 straight wins, 5 straight covers. All right. Money Mansmann, this game, it took me a minute. This just seems like an absolute trap to me. I guess I can't see why the public is just all of a sudden they're like jumping off the Jags train. Niners are catching 70% of the money, 62% of the bets.
Wow.
Yeah. They just lost 3 in a row with Brock Purdy. He's coming off that concussion. Niners have won 4 straight against the Jags. They had a beatdown against Trevor Lawrence in his rookie season. Deebo Samuel is supposed to be returning, and they are coming off the bye.
Trent Williams,
so I guess
though, which is big.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's because I faded the Jags just like one too many times and I'm just afraid to lose more money on the Jaguars. I don't know if I'm missing something. And historically, Trevor Lawrence, terrible against the NFC. But he and Doug Peterson have won 3 straight against the NFC now this season. And the Niners, 2-6 ATS against the AFC since 2022. And this is being a non-conference road spot for the Niners. NFC teams, they're only 9-20 straight up, 12-17 ATS all year. And out of those 9 wins, only 4 of them were road favorites. It was the Niners and the Eagles in week 1, the Cowboys in week 6, the Saints in week 8.
Yeah. Big system play. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, this is the 3rd time the Niners are in this non-conference situation. They're 1-1. The question is this the part where I look like a jackass and fade the Jags one more time? Or do I like fade the Niners here? And I kind of feel like I have to take the Jags. Not saying it's Jags or nothing, but like Jags +3 at home. They've been beating everybody. I know they haven't really faced like the toughest of the tough yet, except for Kansas City, and that was a bad game. I don't know. Like, I feel like I have to take the Jags, even though like I may not be 100% sold.
Yeah, similar handicap. The 3 just seems really high considering the system play. I think the last 4 weeks it's like 15-3. Obviously, you gave sort of the longer tail.
Yeah,
like the AFC has been whipping that ass when it comes to these non-conference spots.
So I have stats from week 5. So since week 5, NFC, the AFC at home against NFC teams, they're 17-4 straight up. They're 14-7 ATS.
Yeah, the AFC has been very good at home against the NFC. And yeah, I mean the number's just too high. This almost was my dog of the week actually. I ended up finding what I liked a little bit better. And I don't like many dogs, but this one, the number just seems really, really off to me. Jacksonville, this Niners defense has not been the dominant force that we've seen sort of earlier in the year. Their offense, Brock Purdy, has been turning the ball over. Now, there are numbers that the offense is much better with Deebo Samuel on the field, but is that just a situation like this year where they played well and then he got hurt and then they didn't play well? So, yeah, I don't know about that.
But is this also like, does Deebo Samuel open up the offense more for them in reality? And I refuse to believe that Deebo Samuel is the one reason why they had all those winning streaks. And that it wasn't Christian McCaffrey plus George Kittle plus Deebo Samuel plus Brandon Ayuk. And if Deebo Samuel really is that X factor, like I don't know why. It makes no logical sense to me. But yeah, the Niners defense is really going to be the big question for this game, in my opinion. Is the Niners defense going to show up and shut down Trevor Lawrence? Because I could 100% see that happening and that being the reason they win and cover.
Yeah.
Sort of like what they did to the Steelers, but continue.
Yeah. This is actually this actually made it as my over of the week. First off, before you say anything, there weren't that many games I liked over. But this one, to me, when you look at it, like the Jacksonville home games on average have averaged over what this line is. And I think the team averages as well. The Niners, for their last 5, have gone to the over. I think the teams average like more points than the over for this week. So I needed an over. It's been an under year. Like if you're playing overs, there's no point in really doing it. But if I had to pick an over this week, this would be the one I'd be looking for because I think the number's a bit low because it's like Jags Niners. But I could see this one, especially Jaguars first on defense in terms of turnovers, turning opponents over like over 2 times a game. I could see Purdy throwing a couple of INTs and there being a couple short fields. So, yeah.
I can't fault the play. I picked the under here, and here's why. I think if the Jags win, it's because they shut down Purdy, and Purdy doesn't get any scoring. If the Niners win and cover, it's because they prevent Trevor Lawrence from doing anything. The only way I really see this being an over game, and albeit it is a little low, it has to be like a shootout situation. It has to be like an even keel sort of game.
Yeah.
And I just don't know realistically like how long that's going to be sustainable with these two teams.
And let's be honest,
I went under here.
If you're playing like over 40 this year, you're not going to have a good record. I mean, there's just not a lot of scoring this year. It's really crazy.
Yeah, there's certain games where it's been like ridiculously over, but there's other games where it doesn't seem like there's a middle with like 40s and 50s. It's been like 65 plus, or it's been like 35 under.
I just
nothing really in between.
Quarterback play hasn't been as good, and I think you got a lot of guys who could just move the ball from 20 to 20. They have long drives, and then it's either a turnover or it's a field goal, and it just seems like the scoring never, like it's very rare you get a Houston-Tampa game. For the most part, it's like, I mean, even look at the Bengals-Bills game. It looked like both teams, like, they were getting yards. I mean, Burrow had over 300. Josh Allen had 250. But it was just like they went and, they get a couple first downs and then the drive would stall. Or, field goal or turnover on downs. Like,
let's be honest. You get a game like Miami-Denver or Tampa-Houston or even Minnesota-New Orleans. Or not Minnesota. Minnesota-Atlanta. Yeah, it's like one of those types of games, or it's like that Kansas City Miami game where like the second half was just a straight dud.
Yeah, the too high shell has been a killer just because teams don't want to get beat deep. So every drive just seems like it's fucking 16 plays, 9 minutes.
Yeah, it's absurd. But speaking of absurdity, the Spaceman, not Spaceman Sam, Josh Dobbs getting the nod again for the Minnesota Vikings. They're a 3-point home underdog, plus 130, up against Derek Carr and the New Orleans Saints. They're laying 3, minus 154 on the money line. The over-under, 40.5. Currently on FanDuel, if the page would ever load. Doesn't look like it wants to. That's okay. Here we go. Saints only getting 50% of the bets in the money.
Yeah, that's understandable.
So, yeah, I could see why, but
the Saints have
Money Mansmann. Well, no, they don't. Let's be fair. Let's be fair. Derek Carr doesn't cover.
2-6-1 ATS, I think.
Yeah. All right, Money Mansmann. This is the game for the Caser. This is going to be a big game too, I think.
I agree with that completely. Bro, you look at the Saints schedule, I see at least 4 wins on it. Like, if they could get this win, they have like 2 against Atlanta, 1 against Tampa Bay, 1 against the Rams. Who knows if Stafford's even going to be playing? They play the Giants, who have Jason Mansmann at quarterback. I think like their only tough remaining game is against like the Lions. So good chance. This I think could be for the Caser. This could be for the Caser.
Yeah.
There was a time when this was going to be my best bet on New Orleans, but I don't like the -3. I told you, like, Minnesota just won their Super Bowl, man. Like, Josh Dobbs came in. They had that really emotional win. They're going back at home. They're 1-3 at home this year. They've been a much better road team. Like, we've seen this sort of game before. These are the times I love to fade teams. It's just the line got too high because, again, like we said, the Saints. Do you really want to back the Saints as 7.5-point favorites? And now they're 3-point road favorites. Do you really want to back one of the worst ATS teams in football as a 3-point road favorite? To me, though, I feel like this could be a game where the Vikings just run out of steam and take a loss here, though. So I'll go Saints or nothing, but the line really, play it at your own risk.
Just to give you another update, Joshua Dobbs got the MVP award for last week, the Nickelodeon Valuable Player.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
During practice. Got to slime his coaches. Don't know if you saw that. I hate to say it, but you talked me out of the Vikes on our recap episode. Actually, the Vikes were originally going to be one of my dog of the weeks potentials, but I completely got talked out of it. And you're 100% right. Look, I hate a lot of what you're saying. I hate a lot of it. Like, I hate that I'm picking the Saints to win. That's going to be one more closer to the case. I hate that I'm picking Derek Carr as a road favorite. By the way, Derek Carr, 18, 35, and 2 ATS in his career as a favorite. Worst in the last 20 years.
God, the Saints team.
But look at everything collectively. It just makes sense. Like, any higher than 3, it's a no-go. But Saints -3, I'll take the push potential. Because at that point, it's just I'm straight up wrong. The Vikes are literally on like their second/third string quarterback, and they're coming off the most miracle win of all time that I think I've seen since Jeff Saturday beat the Raiders. And let's be honest, did Jeff Saturday beat the Raiders, or did Josh McDaniels find a new way to lose?
Yeah. And a lot went right in the game with the turnovers with Atlanta too. I mean, it's like, yeah.
Yeah, and Minnesota, like they lost Cam Akers for the year on the running backs. And now the running game is going to struggle once more. Their defense is still pretty rough. The Saints, like, look, they didn't cover last week. And hell, let's be honest, for a good while in that game, they looked like they might be losing to a backup quarterback. It ended with their kicker doinking a field goal to take a 10-point lead. And then Taysom Hill kneeling it within the 5 yards.
That was one of the biggest bad beat non-covers of the year, because it basically looked like the Saints were 10 yards away from covering for the entire fourth quarter, and they just never did.
Yeah, here's the difference, and here's why I'm going to advocate you actually take the 3. The Saints might have found out a solution to that red zone issue, and it's Taysom Hill. And if you actually watch, this was like the first game I've seen where they actually utilized him within the red zone 20 yards up. And look at what a difference it made for this Saints offense.
And that's scary because the Saints, there's a stat that the Saints, I think, second or third team, most sort of, I can't fucking speak now. But they've been in the red zone, the second or third most in the league in the last 2 or 3 weeks. So they've been getting in the red zone. And if they could keep punching in touchdowns, I just think this is the worst spot in the world for the Vikings. And if you think about it,
100%.
With the loss of Akers, we know Madison struggled to run the ball. The one area of concern, Josh Dobbs running the football, because the Saints actually have given up a lot of rushing yards to quarterbacks. But other than that, the Saints pass defense remains the strength of the team. And if you're just going to expect sort of Josh Dobbs to zing the ball around and get 350, this just looks to me like a complete fucking letdown spot for the Vikings. So I don't know what's backing them.
I'm with you there. I think it's just the fear of covering the Saints covering. Really. Yeah. But I mean, again, if you look at the Saints defense, they had 4 takeaways last week on Tyson Bagent, not 5. I can't imagine what hell they're going to cause Josh Dobbs. Dobbs hasn't even won as a starter on the road all season. He only has 2 touchdowns and 1 pick in 4 games.
Well, they're at home. They're in Minnesota.
Yeah, but
it doesn't matter. And if
doesn't matter.
And if anything, the Vikings have been worse. I think last week was their first home win, right? They were at home last week.
Here's the problem. This was my original under of the week. Here's the problem. An over game is overdue for both of these teams in these spots. The Vikings have been a dead under team all year at home, 0-4. And the Saints just got their first over on the road in their all season. And it was against the Colts in their last road game. They're 1-9 on the under in their last 10 on the road, I think. So
yeah,
I feel like one's overdue.
See that? Yeah, I agree. If you look at the home games for the Saints, I think they've 3 straight overs, or at least they've been over this number the last 3 home games. You're right about the road splits, though. They're an under team on the road. Maybe that's Carr just not playing as well on the road. I don't know, man. I'm not sold with this Vikings defense. They gave up 28 points last week to the Falcons.
Literally
that.
Is it bad that if this was Taysom Hill and not Derek Carr, this would have been the best bet? Probably could have been a double for us, but
no. See, I think you're seeing Carr is good 20-20. He eats up yards. He's not good in the red zone. They might have found something with this Taysom Hill shit. I know Taysom Hill was always there, but using him more in the red zone, that might be the play, because Derek Carr, we talk about it all the time. We always make fun. 357, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. Like, that's a Derek Carr fucking performance.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Like, I think, yeah, it's close, but this is just like, I don't know. The over-under is where I'm going back and forth. Like, do you take the under? I think I have to switch it to the over. There's not many that I like either to begin with, but I have a feeling this one, like, if Josh Dobbs is like semi-competent, I think they could push this with the New Orleans Saints and hit the over. It's 40.5. It's not a lot.
Yeah. No,
so
yeah.
I'm going over, even though the stats point against it. All right, I'm ready for the next game. Here we go. Excuse me. All right, the Tampa Bay Bucks, they're laying 1.5 at home, -118. Going up against the Tennessee Titans, they're a non-conference road underdog, +1.5, +100 on the money line, over under 38.5. Money Mansmann, are you backing Baker Mayfield or are you backing the Tennessee Titans and Will Levis as a road dog?
I really wanted to back. This really hurt me. I really wanted to bet Tampa Bay after that like difficult loss last week. You know me, I always love to like, fade the team that did well, like got the miracle win, and bet the team that got like the miracle loss. And then I looked at the stat: 7 straight losses against the AFC for the Bucks. Baker Mayfield not good against the AFC at all. This Bucks team is not good against the AFC at all. I have to go Tennessee. I want to go and like I want to bet Tampa. I feel like the spot after that tough loss going home, that's the time to play Tampa. But like Tennessee's getting points. They're getting 1.5. Tampa Bay just let up 7 trillion fucking passing yards to CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud just doing another touchdown while we were talking. Like, it's just backing this team as a favorite when they've lost 7 straight games against the AFC. And Mike Vrabel is an underdog, too. We always talk about Vrabel as an underdog. Long rest.
We do.
10 days to prepare. Like, I don't want to do it. This is probably a game I'm not going to play. But if I had to play it, I think it's Tennessee or nothing.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. I just realized we didn't have the background up. There we go. That looks more appropriate.
Oh, by the way, we're going to get a real quick aside. We're going to get good weather, it looks like. Chance of precipitation.
It does, yeah.
And it's fingers crossed.
It might be a little chilly, but we could deal with it.
Not even, man. For Buffalo, like 30s, 40s. Not crazy. Not crazy.
Not at all. All right. Anyways, all right. I'm going opposite of you. I'm actually taking the Bucks here. Here's my thing. Baker has to win one. Like, he has to get one. This has to be it. This is like the most unluckiest quarterback I think I've seen in a long time. Literally 40 seconds to go, game-winning drive, and you give it up to a fucking rookie, CJ Stroud and the Texans. I would hate to be Baker right now because you know he's getting shit for most of these games, and I just feel like it's not even really his fault. I think it's been the Bucs defense.
Yeah.
And speaking of Vrabel as a dog, they've lost 6 straight as road underdogs. They've lost 7 of their last 8, actually.
Wow, that's crazy.
5 straight. Yep. And look, non-conference spot, like this is a thing where AFC teams have had the edge in the non-conference games. Last 3 weeks, they're 6-5 straight up on the road, but they're only 3-6-1 ATS. I mean, I get why you would think to take the Titans here, but I just don't think the Titans are going to win this one. I think this is a Bucs bounce back opportunity. I think you're getting Will Levis, a rookie quarterback, going up against Todd Bowles and this Bucs defense. I think this is the Bucs bounce back spot here, so I'm taking Baker in the Bucs, although I don't really love it either personally. I just think this is the one spot Baker has to win.
I can't argue with you because that would basically be my handicap if I had picked the Bucks. So,
And yeah, 5 straight unders on the road for Tennessee. The Bucks defense, way too suspect for me to take the 38.5 on the under. Titans haven't won on the road all year, and the Bucks have lost in 3 straight and failed to cover 3 straight at home. I don't know which one gives, but this is a play. Take the over 38.5. Like, both these defenses tend to suck.
yeah, I actually went with the under, and the reason why I think the Titans have gone under on the road like 6 of their last 7. But more importantly, looking at like the average points scored, both offenses average like below what the number is now. So I'm wondering if that was an overreaction from last week with what CJ Stroud did. I don't know. I tend to lean to the under here. But again, it goes to show you, like, I don't think it makes much sense with my handicap because I do think the Titans will need to score to win. But God, could it be like a 21-16 Vrabel game? I don't know.
It could be. I mean, that wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility, truth be told. Both these teams are dead under teams. They're both 2-6 on the year.
Yeah.
But
by the way, I almost think this year, like, if you're in the middle, you have to play the under. It's like if you're close, you have to pick the under.
I can't fault the logic. Yeah, I'm still taking the over, though. I think it's too low. Gotta have a couple overs here. Moving on. Cleveland traveling to Baltimore as a road division dog, plus 6.5, plus 235. The over-under, also 38.5. Ravens laying 6.5, minus 290 on the money line. Currently, Baltimore only getting 69% of the spread money and 57% of the bets. Ravens have won and covered 4 straight. Or no, they've won 4 straight. My bad. All right, Money Mansmann. I know you love your AFC North division dogs in division games. I know you're going to come up with some crazy stat how like these teams always play close. Ravens almost had me going back-to-back best bets this week, but the Ravens might actually find a way to blow this cover. I'm not going to do this as a best bet, but I am picking Baltimore minus 6.5. Deshaun Watson sucks. This guy is dog shit. He is coming off a 27-0 shutout against a second string nobody in Arizona. Now they're traveling to Baltimore in what's probably going to be shit weather. Like, how do you back Watson here? I don't get, like, that's the handicap. How do you back Watson?
So I will say you do have in your favor the grand stat of Cleveland, 7 straight losses ATS as underdogs following a win. So you have that going for you.
How many times have the Browns beaten Baltimore? Let me rephrase that. How many times have the Browns beaten Lamar Jackson?
Ever? I don't know. No.
I'm looking that up right now, but that's the point.
Yeah, it's so funny. I mean, you just know me too well. Like, you know what handicap's going to be. Dog of the week, Cleveland Browns. For the reasons, like you said.
Oh, this is disgusting. Oh, that's so bad.
It's an AFC North game in shit weather. Like, you know what's going to happen in this game? Both teams are just going to run the clock out. Like, this is going to be.
So the Browns 1-4 against Baltimore.
I don't think they're going to win.
In Baltimore.
I just see this shit, like, especially, too, if I could get over 7, which at game time I might get. Who knows? Like, bro, this is going to be like a 13-7 game. Like, this is going to be, because you have to remember, the first time they played, the Ravens didn't even play that well. They played that stupid rookie quarterback who turned the ball. I'm going to throw you this times.
I'm going to throw you this number. They're 2-6 ATS in their last 8. And straight up. 2-6 straight up in ATS.
Yeah, but they haven't been 6.5-point dogs. Everyone's on Baltimore.
This no, they have. They were literally last year. They lost by 3, so they did cover. I'll give you that.
Yeah, they're on Baltimore.
They were 7 and
on NFC teams who Lamar killed. They literally, you look at it, The last AFC team they beat were the Tennessee Titans by like fucking 5 points.
I'm just saying,
at the end of the game, they almost lost the game, except Tannehill got knocked out, and they put Bozo the Clown in instead of Will Levis.
I'm just saying, Deshaun Watson, 2 road games at Pittsburgh, where despite his efforts, he got beat. The Steelers' defense outscored Deshaun Watson on offense. And then his other road game, it was the Colts when he got injured. I don't think there's not enough for me to really think we're gonna take the points with the Browns here. The only thing I could tell you in your favor is you would have to believe in the Cleveland Browns defense. But have you seen the state of the Browns defense lately when they are not playing second string quarterbacks?
I mean, Lamar Jackson isn't that good. The guy
20 to 24, Geno, 38 points.
The run game's back. They run the ball. He runs.
It's back. Hold on. It's back. The run game is back.
Yeah.
Who do they beat? Who did they beat?
No, I'm saying Baltimore. Baltimore's not hitting the ball around. They run the ball. Their defense is really good. So's the Browns' defense. That's what I'm saying. To me, I think in this game, when you're looking for sort of someone to cover a 7-point game, I don't know if Baltimore scores more than 16. And I could see this being 16-9, 16-10, 16-13.
See, I can't.
Shit like that.
I can't. This just screams Cleveland letdown. If Cleveland was at home, I might be more apt to listen to you. But with Baltimore at home, I'm not having it. I do want to see real quick if I can pull up the home team, the Ravens at home.
It helps that Baltimore blew them out week 1 with that backup quarterback. I actually don't think that helps.
Yeah, I treat that the same though as Cleveland's last game. Oh, here you go. Last 7, Cleveland 1-6 in Baltimore. Only, let's see here. The last 2 would have covered. I'll give you that. So it was 16-10, 23-20. Baltimore won. Prior to that, 38-6, 26. Fuck you. God damn it. You might be on to something.
Oh, I'm telling you, man. The AFC North, bro. That's what they do. What they do, man.
Well, you know what? I'm going to be stupid here. I'm still taking the Ravens.
It's okay, man. You'll be 2 pitchers in. You won't even remember the game.
Yeah. I will. You know what, though? I'll do this. And I think I already did it, but here's Ravens first half. Ravens first half might be the better play.
Oh, less of a number. Yeah, maybe. That's not
Let me see. Let me see if I can check real quick.
If you like
Ravens are the best first half team right now, I think, too. I think they're 7-2 ATS or something like that.
Especially to think of this way. The Ravens win when they get a lead and can run the ball. If you pick the Ravens to cover this, the Ravens need to win early in the game. Because if they're behind and it's Lamar having to throw the ball, I just, no offense. Again, the problem with what the Ravens are doing, they looked really good beating NFC teams that Lamar owns. I'm curious to see now that the AFC schedule's coming, what this Baltimore team looks like.
8.5 first half. Yeah, I'm going to do it.
3.5.
Yeah, Ravens first. You know what? We don't normally do this. I did this last week. First half play of the week. Ravens -3.5 first half. Because you're right. This might be a game where it could be a Pittsburgh game. They're up 10-0. And then second half is a dud. Cleveland finds a way to come back, make it close. I could see that happening too. So Ravens first half -3.5. Locking it.
Lock it up.
Lock it up. 1 unit in, and there we go. All right. I'm ready to move on. Oh, over under 38.5. I'll side with you on this one. Under 38.5.
It has to be under for my handicap to work. So
I think for mine too, if you think about it, I think the Ravens are the more dominant team. I think Deshaun Watson sucks. The handicap relies on the Browns not scoring. It relies on the Ravens scoring enough to get the win and cover.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know why I put over on my sheet. I meant to put under. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, no, I got under 38.5 here. All right, moving on. We got another interesting AFC North situation. We got the Cincinnati Bengals coming off that Sunday night win. Also laying 6.5, minus 250 on the money line, though. Going up against the Houston Texans and CJ Stroud. They're catching 6.5. They're plus 205 on the money line. The over-under, highest on the week, 47. Money Mansmann, your take on this game?
This is my best bet, although I will say this could change by game time. Looking at it,
wow.
if you take away the potential of the injuries, which is a big sort of, I don't want to discount it. This line is a joke. Houston is not like this should be a 10-point line. No offense, Houston. If they lose last week, they will have lost to the Bengals and Panthers in back-to-back weeks. This line is 10.5. Like, the only reason this line is less than a touchdown is because of the receiver situation for Cincinnati and what happened last week. Cincinnati is much the better team. Joe Burrow is back. They're playing better football. They get a huge step down in class. And more importantly, I always say it, Houston coming off a miracle win last week. Now they got to go on the road to Cincinnati. Their defense couldn't stop Baker Mayfield last week. Good luck trying to stop Joe Burrow. Best bet, under a touchdown. This is like a joke how easy this is. This game's probably going to be 21 points, except 1 point. This will not be a best bet if Jamar Chase doesn't play. T. Higgins is out. I'm not that worried about that. If Jamar Chase is out too, jump off, no play. So that's the
no play if Jamar Chase.
But if Jamar Chase plays, the Bengals are going to win like 34-17. The Houston's going to get their doors blown off this week if that happens.
God. I'm trying to take all this in.
If this is your dog of the week, this is terrible. Just why?
No.
What did you see?
No.
What did you see last week when they gave up 37 points to Baker Mayfield? That's like, let me back this fucking Houston team against a good opponent.
Double best bet.
Oh,
Cincinnati Bengals.
There we go.
CJ Stroud coming off the biggest rookie game in NFL history. And it was a back and forth duel with Baker Mayfield and the Bucs at home. Now they have to go on the road against Joe Burrow in November. By the way, Joe Burrow, home favorite, 9-1 straight up, 6-3-1 ATS in their last 10. It's now 6 straight in the month of November the Bengals have won. And the Texans are still the Texans. They are shit on the road. They are 1-3 straight up in ATS with CJ Stroud this year. Not good after a win either. I think they have I'd have to double check, but I think the Texans are the worst team to bet on ATS after they win a game. Because they really don't win that. They haven't really won that much to begin with. But I can't, think of the last time the Texans have had back-to-back wins. Think of the last time they had back-to-back covers. Horrible spot for this fucking Texans team.
There we go, buddy. There we go.
Yeah, hang on. I want one more time. There we go. This is a distinguished DeGents double best bet for these guys before we leave for the trip. Oh. So you know what that means. I think we have to lay some units on this game.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely might be part of the court bet if we can get that going. But over under, this is an under game for me. The Bengals defense has been sneakily good this year. They've held their last 4 opponents to under 20 at home. And the Texans, they have not cracked over 20 all year on the road. So currently right now, I think you could get the Texans at 20 as a team total. If you can you could get under 19.5 at plus 102 right now on DraftKings.
Oh, I like that.
Money Mansmann over underplay under 47.
I actually endorse that. Yeah, I do like the under here. Because if you look at it, strangely enough, Cincinnati, you think of sort of their offense coming around, but even them, their defense has been playing better. They just held the Bills to 18 points, and I expect a letdown for Houston, lot tougher competition. So wholeheartedly agree with you on that one.
Yeah, FanDuel right now over under is 20.5. And I think that's insane.
Yeah. And again, it's just one of those things like this year, if you're laying big overs, it just don't. I mean, it just don't make sense.
No. All right, moving on. Wow, double best bets. That's
Really.
I did not expect that to happen.
I think we're gonna have a double fade of the week too.
Ooh, I think we'll see. I think we're gonna see. Moving forward, the Green Bay Packers going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers are laying 3 points. They're minus 162 on the money line. The Green Bay Packers catching 3, and they are currently a plus 152 road underdog non-conference game. The over-under 38.5. Steelers getting the money, getting the spreads, looking at 75+% to 79%. Yeah, I don't like this normally. Think of it this way: you get the Green Bay Packers coming off like what seems to be like a bullshit win against Brett Rippon. They only managed 20. Then you kind of have the Steelers who they're getting the extra rest. They played the Titans, and that was an ugly, close game for an offense that actually got a touchdown on the first drive and then just did barely the minimum after. So, if you're going to pick a spot to fade and an overreaction to fade, I'm going to fade. I'm still keeping the Packers on auto fade. Even though they won last week, they're still on my auto fade list. And I would, if I had been smarter, I would have put out a minute post saying fuck the Rams, change my handicap, bet the Packers, Stafford out. Jordan Love and the Packers 0-2 straight up in ATS against AFC teams this year. Going back to last season with Rodgers, they're 1-3 straight up on the road against AFC teams. Packers have actually lost and failed to cover in 4 straight games as an underdog. They're 2-4 straight up on the season as dogs. And let's be honest, had the Saints not blown that cover in Green Bay, it would have been 6 straight losses as an underdog.
That could have been.
You look at the Steelers
right there. That could have been the case for that loss.
Yeah, that's 100% true. You want to look at the Steelers though? They're 4-2 straight up in ATS as home favorites with, I shit you not, Kenny Pickett and Matt Canada. I'm not loving this game by any stretch of the imagination, but I just think that Pittsburgh does decently enough against shit teams. Mike Tomlin can outcoach pretty much any bad team when it comes to these types of games, and I think Green Bay is still a shit team. They're not that good. Their offense is still fucking dreadful. So, and speaking of shit, with Matt Canada's offense and Jordan Love, this is bound to be ugly, but I think you lay the 3 here. I don't think you overthink this. I don't think you try to be cute and find an angle with Green Bay. I think you just take Steelers with Mike Tomlin as a slight home favorite. I think it's too easy.
Yeah, see, me, it's the reverse. Not that this is like a tease play, if anything, but Packers are nothing for me. I don't know, man. The way this Steelers team, there's a stat they've been outgained in every game this season, and they're 5-3. Their defensive stats.
Well, think about it though. That makes sense. Yeah, but that makes sense. They have a dreadful offense, but their defense has been keeping them alive in the majority of the games.
But honestly, their defense
and the Pittsburgh offense just does enough.
Their defense isn't even that good when you look at the stats. They're just opportunistic. I don't know. This to me, this feels like this was almost my under of the week, but I went under in another one. I see this as a low-scoring game. And I don't know. For me, it's like I like Tomlin as an underdog. I start to get nervous when you're backing him as a favorite. I just
I don't know why he's 4-2 straight up as a home favorite.
like. I think you're right. I think you have the better of this handicap. To me, it's just like I don't know. I hate Green Bay too. I just don't like the idea of backing Tomlin as a favorite in this game. I expect it to be low scoring, and I don't know how long this Steelers team. I mean, are they going to go and win like 10 games with just no offense and a defense that gives up a ton of yards, but just sort of keeps finding ways to like pull, Bunny out of their ass? Like, maybe, I don't know, but they're not going to do it with my money this week. So,
no, this is my under of the week, actually.
oh, there you go.
Both these teams are
Totally
dead on. These are dead under teams. The Steelers are 2-8 on the under in their last 10. Steelers have had 6 straight hit the under. Packers 4 straight on the under, and they've had 5 of their last 6 hit the under as well. So and again, dreadful offenses. One has a good defense. It's just who's going to outscore who. It's not going to be by much. I could see this being like a 14-10, 17-13, 17-10, like bullshit kind of game. It's going to be dreadful. Not looking forward to it, but under of the week, under 37.5, I'm locking that
Endorsed. This was my second choice, so endorsed.
All right. I'm looking forward to this handicap. All right, Monty Mansmann, Atlanta Falcons, coming off the loss to the spaceman himself, Josh Dobbs, now going up against little person boy in his return. Cardinals are catching 1.5. They're plus 102. Falcons minus 120. Road favorite over under 43.5. And with Kyler's return, Atlanta's still getting more of the money. 64% of the money on the spreads. They're getting 67% of the bets. All right. I know how much you love Kyler Murray. I know he's like your second favorite quarterback of all time, next to Josh Allen. You've lost so much money because of this guy, but he's still around, at least for now. Does Kyler get a return?
Got his fill of Call of Duty.
Call of Duty weekend. This does come out Call of Duty weekend. So maybe this is a good sign. Maybe Kyler starts taking football seriously again and maybe he got enough Call of Duty. Maybe he got out of it. I don't know.
First off, let me just say, with respect to the midget and the little person, like we're just doing it in jest. Like we have no hatred in our hearts for anyone, regardless of what disability you have. Like it's just in jest. Don't kill us, okay? Like, it's just for fun.
He does mean Kyler Murray slander, but not slander towards any community.
Yeah, let's be honest. Like, Kyler Murray, I just hate him because he's an overrated bum, not because of his height. But yeah. Having said that, this line is so asinine. Why in the hell? I mean, I know why, because Atlanta sucks too, and I hate fucking Atlanta, which is why this game is not like my best bet of the year. Why the hell is like Arizona like only a 1.5 point dog in this game? Like, did we forget what Kyler Murray is? He is shit. This guy is shit. He has no receivers. His receivers are shit. Their defense is shit. They can't.
Hang on, he has Marquise Brown.
Oh please, yeah. Who Baltimore couldn't wait to jettison away for a bag of Reese's Pieces? Come on, this guy, the bum, still living off his one fucking heave ball against the Bills. That's the only fucking highlight in this guy's career, other than the highlights he has when he gets the only highlights Kyler Murray has in his career are the fucking end of game kill cams when the fucking Call of Duty game ends. This guy sucks. 1.5 points? Are you shitting me? This Arizona team just lost 27 doodle. And I know they had Caleb Toon or whatever the hell his name was. But no offense, like Josh Dobbs is better. And they still had one win with Josh Dobbs. Like, give me Josh Dobbs. Kyler Murray, why does he care? He got his $200 million. He's probably going to come in completely out of shape. Have you seen pictures of him? My guy looks like he's been hit. He looks like us. Like, guy's been hitting the fucking snackums. Fucking pudding pouches. Bro, my guy has put on some heft. And no offense, all he could do is run. The guy can't throw.
Hold on, so he's out of shape, but he can run. Hold on.
No, I'm saying, like, all he could do in the past was run. He couldn't throw, except his one little bullshit heave ball to DeAndre Hopkins. Remember when I bet him in the playoffs and he fucking lost 24-0?
I told you that was a bad bet, though. I warned you that. I warned you that was a bad bet.
I hate Kyler Murray.
All right, look.
Atlanta Falcons, baby. Come on, baby.
Got it. I think you're gonna look like an idiot. I really think you're gonna look like an idiot.
Really? You like Kyler Murray? Why?
No, I don't. It's not that I like Kyler Murray. I'm baiting the shit out of Atlanta.
Coming off a disastrous loss, ultra motivated against the shit team. Okay, continue.
I mean, look, they've only been road favorites twice with God, what the fuck's their head coach name?
Oh,
Arthur Smith. They've been road favorites twice. They lost both. And don't get me wrong, I like Taylor Heineke I like Taylor Heineke a lot, actually. I think he's better with Atlanta at this point. He's lost he went 0-3-1 in his last 4 starts. And Arthur Smith, speaking of this dumbass, give me a second here. I'm taking a full minute. This fucking idiot loses to a third-string quarterback who had just been traded that week. The O-line did not even know his cadence. And you let that defense, not only do you blow the game, you blow 2 tackles and you let him run it in to seal the deal. And your answer to this at the next day's press conference, you shave your mustache. Because you want a change of scenery. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, he should get it.
Not the response. That's not the response these Falcons fans deserve. I don't even like the Falcons. I don't even care. But if I was a Broncos fan and my head coach, his response to losing against a third-string quarterback, I'm going to shave my mustache because we need to change the scenery around here. I'm calling for your fucking head. I'm immediately requesting like a trade to get the Raiders interim head coach because at least he can fucking lead his team to a win. You really want to back this guy, man? Really? You really want to do this?
You know, yeah.
Like, fuck the midget boy shit for a minute. Sorry, the little man. Like, fuck him for a minute. You want to back Arthur Smith?
Oh my god, I hate this game. I need a change of scenery. Okay, Arthur Smith, here's your pink slip. You can have a change of scenery in the unemployment line. Oh my god, I hate that guy too. Oh my god.
And the Cardinals, like, look, they're getting their QB1 back. Like, can we just stop? Like,
don't even.
No, they are, bro. No, stop. Like, I know Kyler had last year he sucked. There's no doubt about that. They have 1 win without it with Josh Dobbs. 1. Kyler Murray is still a upgrade and a step up compared to Josh Dobbs and Caleb Toon, whatever the fuck his name is.
I honestly disagree with the first statement. I take Josh Dobbs over because Kyler Murray is going to be checked out. He made his money. Like, why? Like, bro, he's gone. They're tanking for Caleb Williams. He's going to have no motivation in this game.
Okay, I disagree. I disagree with that. But here's why. Caleb Williams in the draft. If Arizona ends up trading for that number 1 spot, Kyler's done. Kyler needs to get this team back to 500 so he can at least keep a starting job. And Money Mansman's looking at something.
Yeah, I want to see what his passing yards are in this game. Our boy.
All right, I'll let you look that up. Here's point number 2. Arizona is getting James Conner back from IR. And even with the Cardinals being terrible at home, even though Kyler, he's 1-6 straight up in 2022 at home, 2-16 straight up at home since 10/28/2021. They did cover 4 of the last 5 as home dogs. And even looking at Kyler's 2 games against Atlanta in the past when he played Matt Ryan, each of those games ended by a 1-point swing. And no matter what side you take, doesn't this just feel like it's going to be a 1-point game? Like one way or another? Whether it's because of like a last-minute touchdown and a failed 2-point, or because of a converted 2-point. Like somebody's just going to go for the win at the end. I could just see that happening. And Atlanta, they're not good off a loss. They're 1-3 ATS this season. And this is a game, like, I look at it, I could see the Cardinals winning. I don't know how. I could just see it happening, though. Because Atlanta is that bad.
Kyler Murray's super motivated and Atlanta turns the ball over a lot, which is the one fear. Like, I don't know, man. I just think Atlanta's going to run the ball. Oh, 218, by the way. 218.5 for Kyler Murray passing yards.
Ooh.
Oh, feeling that over there? Going to join the
No, I'm not going to bet it. I'm not going to bet it. Because James Conner's back, so they may, like... I could see this being a run-heavy game. A lot of RPOs, read options.
You finally said something that there's the other fear in this game. James Conner. That's who I'm afraid of. Not freaking Kyler Murray.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
First game back, I don't know.
I can't fault. Again, this is like no matter what side you take. If you bet a lot of units on this, you're an idiot.
No, I will agree with you there. Like, there's a reason why this is not my best bet, because it's Atlanta and Arthur Smith is shaving his mustache instead of, like, I don't know, being a
no. By the way, that was the first 4:00 game on the Eastern time zone slate. So we're into the 4:00 games. Money Mansmann, I think we still have fade of the weeks to go, and I think we still have dog of the weeks to go. Is that correct?
No, I did my dog. I have a fade and an under.
Who was your? Oh, Cleveland was your brown. Cleveland was your dog.
Correct.
And you have a fade and a what?
Fade and an under.
Got it. All right.
Same game, actually.
Really interesting. Yeah. I almost did the same thing, by the way, with I almost did the same thing with Pittsburgh. They almost were my best bet. But I moved on. I liked another one better.
Ooh.
But yeah, either way, like there's only one way to sum up Atlanta, Arizona. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Chewbacca. Doesn't make sense. Don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Just move on. Over under Arizona, Atlanta, 43.5.
Over. I don't like Arizona's defense. And could I see little person getting some late scores to make his stats look good? Yeah, that's all he's good for.
I go under, honestly. I think Heineke has a disappointing game. I think Kyler Murray, I'm not saying he struggles on the way back, but I think they take it slow. A lot of running. It's going to kill clock. I just don't see a lot of scoring.
Well, I could get beat. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. But I think there's going to be some scoring in this one. So.
All right. Moving on. Last non-conference game, the Detroit Lions coming off of the bye, traveling to the Los Angeles Chargers. They're minus 156, non-conference road favorites, over under 48.5. I think actually they're the highest one on the card this week. Chargers catching 3 plus 132. Detroit getting 71% of the bets, 76% of the money. Mansmann, this game opened on the look ahead. Chargers minus 1.5. It's now settling at Lions minus 3. Are you on the public side here, or are you going to fade the public?
Yeah, I'll call this. Well, I guess I'll say this is my Barney Bester, my fade of the week, my under of the week. Detroit Lions minus 3. I just don't think this Chargers team's any good, bro. Like we saw on Monday night. No offense, this team beat the Bears and the Jets. Like I know they won by a lot. I am not impressed, bro. I'm not impressed with this team at all. They can't run the ball. They can't really throw it all that well. They have no deep passing game to save their lives. You saw how bad Herbert struggled last week. Lions, are they coming off the bye, the Lions? I think they might be coming off.
Yeah, they are coming off the bye.
I like a motivated Lions team against this pass defense that is the worst in football. They could protect the quarterback. I think Goff's going to get the ball out of his hands pretty quickly. I see the Lions being able to move the ball, but I do see the under because I actually think when you look at these teams, this could be another Detroit Lions 20-6 game. I know I said it with Atlanta and Tampa Bay before. I mean, I don't know if I'm not saying it's exactly going to be that, but I could see this being.
Honestly, the last time you called it, it was correct. You may want to try an exact score bet.
Yeah. I mean, I could just see like this Chargers team. We've seen this struggle before with them. They're a dip and dunk sort of team, and I don't think that gets it done against the Detroit Lions defense. I'm on the public here. I hate to say it. It hurts me to say. But, yeah, Detroit Lions, my fade of the week. No offense, this Chargers team's a fraud. It's time to be done with this team.
Gotcha. Well, oh, man, I need to put this down. Oh, I'm just going to take this off because this is going to be gross. All right. We got to get messy. Blitz, can you speak? Can you speak? No? All right, we'll do this. Yep, that's right, folks. This is hideous. I hate this a lot.
Are you out of your mind? Are you
dog of the
week? But why?
Here, couple reasons. And again, I told you off air there was going to be a best bet pick. I was just going to eat the L no matter what. Oh, I just had no other good options in my mind.
And you gave
this is it.
Cleveland. Wow, this is fun.
All right. So I have a couple reasons. It's not like, again, this isn't the strongest one I have. This is like weird facts, gut feelings, just overall. The more I look at it, here's the weird fact: Detroit has never won a road game against the Chargers in their franchise history. This is the first time they're ever going to play at SoFi Stadium. And Jared Goff, albeit is familiar with SoFi Stadium, that used to be his home, 5-3 straight up as a starter at SoFi. He's 0-1 with the Lions going there. And again, a lot of good reasons to take the Lions. They're coming off the extra rest with the bye. They're getting David Montgomery back, which means their offense should open up more. I do love the DFS play. I love it for fantasy. I don't know why. Like, I'm not smashing the Lions here. I hear so many good arguments for the Lions. Like, I'm going to be fair. Here's my gut feeling. This number's jumped too high. The Chargers opened up as a favorite. Now they're a 3-point dog because they had a Monday night weird game with the Jets defense where, believe it or not, Brandon Staley coached correctly and outcoached Robert Saleh. I'm not saying it takes much to outcoach Robert Saleh, but that was a game Brandon Staley could fuck up normally, and he didn't. He did the right thing. But again, Jared Goff, non-conference road favorite, and a public non-conference road favorite at that. He's never been that with the Detroit Lions in his 2+ seasons with them. In 6 non-conference road games with the Lions, though, as dogs, 2-3-1 straight up, only 3-3 ATS. And weirdly enough, I know the Chargers as a home underdog tends to be a bad bet. Against the NFC, this is only the second time for Herbert, and he lost the last one to Dallas. It was 17-20. And I just think 3 points is way too much for me to lay with Detroit on the road. I saw this shit with the Ravens, except it was the other way around. Detroit was a 3-point road dog. And mind you, Lamar, very good against the NFC normally. But I also was just like, wait a minute. Like, this is a trap spot for Detroit. I just hear everyone and their mother, and Sharps included, and again, fading the Sharps, bad idea. But what I will say is, like, I just hear everybody gobbling up on this Detroit spot here, and I'm just the only one sitting here. Wait a minute, like, didn't we just see this like before the bye, and when they got like smacked down by Baltimore, and they're going back on the road to SoFi, where I don't know how Detroit fans travel either.
They're coming off that Baltimore loss after bye. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this Lions pick even more now. 2 weeks of getting their fucking shit kicked out of them, coming up against. I mean, it's weird. Like, your handicap would make sense, except the Chargers won their last 2 games, 30-12 and 27-6. So if anything, you're buying the Chargers like high. I mean, they were a 2-4 team before their last 2
I don't
games.
think it's. See, if it was Chargers minus 1.5, like at open, I'd 100% agree with you. But like, I'm getting 3. The line movement is insane for me for CLV for me to take this Lions team. That's my and it just gives me so much concern that and like this is exactly a game. Justin Herbert's been counted out. They're like, oh, you played scrub teams. You guys suck all season. And this is the spot the Chargers like have one good game and people start asking questions again. And this just seems like another game. Jared Goff on the road, albeit SoFi Stadium. If it's going to happen, that's the best spot for him. But I could just see this being like a road spot. Goff like only throws up 20, but somehow the Chargers do 21 or 24.
I just don't know how they do that. Their pass defense is dreadful, bro. And they got lucky because the last 2 weeks they played Tyson Bagent, who, God bless his heart, is not going to put up 300 yards against you, and Zach Wilson, who, I mean, bro, Zach
You know
Wilson,
what I just realized what it is. I just realized it's the non-conference road favorite spot. NFC doesn't fare well here. And I don't like that the Lions went from a dog to like a favorite, like a 4-point swing. This
is bad, bro. This is really bad. I think you're dead wrong on this one, buddy.
I told you this one was ugly. I wasn't kidding. Like, I know it's ugly. It's a gut play. It's a listen. I'm not gonna tell people to like fall. Like, I'm not advertising this like big, saying like you need to hammer this. I'm just saying I have a gut feeling that everybody's wrong. I don't know why. I can't justify it. It's just a gut feeling.
I gotta say, in fairness to you, I have a feeling that both of our dogs could be embarrassing losses. Like, I have a feeling both of our dogs might lose by like 20 this week. I have a bad feeling.
It could happen. It's the NFL. Anything could happen, but God, it just seems so trappy to take Detroit here.
Do you like my
really
under?
Does.
Do you like my under at least, or are you an over guy? I think this number is too high. Considering
I had over 48.5, but I am switching it to the under.
Bro, I'm telling you, like, when you look at this Chargers offense, they just, even if they're successful, they move methodically down the field. Like, I think people are expecting Herbert, Goff, high-flying offense. But you look at sort of the scores of these teams and the games they've played. I mean, even if it's a close game, I see 24-21, that sort of thing. Like, I
don't even see 24-21. I see like 21-20. I see 23-18, 23-17. Like,
I think that's much more likely, yeah.
Well, think of it too. The front four for both of these teams, especially on third down pressure, they're both very good. Joey Bosa for the Chargers, and God, what's his name for Detroit? Aiden Hutchinson for Detroit. Couldn't you like? This is a game you play sack props, in my opinion, because I could just see like a lot of third and longs. A lot of third and shorts, but they do some play action nonsense, and it's just a quick sack. I could see that happening.
This is an Amon-Ra week for me. I'm going to play Amon-Ra over props.
I would play, if I had to do a prop, God, David Montgomery. I said that already. David Montgomery return game. No, I mean, look, I hope to, like, again, I like what Detroit's doing. It's nothing personal. It's just like I look at a Detroit team, they've never beaten the Chargers on the road. Everyone and their mother is on this team for this game, and nobody's like asking questions really. And they're just like, oh, well, they look bad against the Jets, and they beat Tyson Badge. And I'm like, well, they still won.
If that's the handicap, though, that's stupid. I mean, the Jets,
It's not the best. No.
They played a perfect game against the Jets. The Jets are no good.
Yeah, okay, so say if they played a perfect game against the Jets, and now they're catching 3, but nobody wants to take it. In fact, like, look, if you don't want to take the Chargers as a favorite, 100% hear you. You want to take the Lions as a non-conference road favorite when they lost mostly as a dog? Like when the fuck would that make sense? I don't know. It just seems very trappy to me. I'm moving on from here unless you got something else.
No.
All right. The next 4:00 game. All right. I don't think we're taking too long on this one. The Dallas Cowboys minus 17.5, minus 2,000 on the money line. Danny DeVito, starting quarterback for the New York Giants, plus 1,040 on the money line. The over-under is 39.5. Yeah, Cowboys by 1 million. What are we doing here? This is a straight-up Shakespearean tragedy for the New York Giants. They went from the playoffs last year, getting a playoff win in the divisional round. They're the second worst team in the NFC right now. No Daniel Jones, no Darren Waller. You're going up against your arch nemesis, the Dallas Cowboys,
who beat you 40-0 like week 1.
With Daniel Jones, your QB1, and now you have Tommy DeVito. I almost feel bad for Giants fans at this point because Dallas comes off that road loss against Philly. 2-0 ATS after a loss. You're going to be a home favorite. 3-0 ATS for Dallas this year. Hey, Mansmann, pop quiz. How many games have Dallas beaten against the Giants with Dak Prescott?
13?
12.
Damn. Well, 13.
11-4 ATS. It's about to be 13.
It's about to be 13.
Dak is 6-1 and 5-2 ATS against the Giants at home. Here, okay. Fuck the handicap. Here's the question. Mortgage play.
Bro, you can make the case. Like the
mortgage bet.
I mean, the number is not. It's so crazy too because the last few years these big favorites have been covering. Yeah, this is. I'm not going to waste any time on this. Giants don't have a chance. They wouldn't let him throw against the Jets like this game. I mean, this game, and especially too, the Giants look like a team unlike the Cardinals, who, you know, want guys who are waiting for the bus and are killers. The Giants look like they've completely phoned it in. Like, they're done. I mean, they just laid down and died last week. Like, it's over for them. So, yeah. And under, by that thinking, under because the Giants aren't going to score. So, that's it.
Now, the Cowboys could totally beat this number. I'm not going to lie, but Giants 1-8 on the under this season, 7 straight unders for the G-men. And the Giants are literally the lowest scoring team in the NFL. They're bad.
I think
their season's over.
I think it gets like 27-3. I could see it. Maybe Dak throws an interception. There's a field goal.
This is the game you 100% play team totals. You do not play the over-under line here.
Yeah, that's true.
You just play Giants under, Dallas over, call it a day.
Yeah.
Actually, that might be a double bet. That could be a same game parlay, really. Giants under, Dallas over.
What's Dallas's over going to be? Dallas over got to be like 26.5. Like, if you do the line and
let me look it up.
Points apart, yeah, it's got to be something like that.
Yeah, let me look that up, but I'll introduce the next.
Look at it? Yeah, I was going to say, why don't I look it up while you do the next one?
Sure. If it loads, because, you know, internet. But I'm actually very interested to get your take on this one. This one I went very, very, very back and forth on. But we got the Washington Commies coming off the win against the Patriots, catching 5.5 now on the road. They're traveling to Seattle. Seattle, it looks like I just lost the number, actually. Here we go. Seattle minus 270, favorite. Washington Commies plus 220. Over under 44.5. All right. Money Mansmann, any update on those team totals for the last game, Dallas?
Cowboys over 27.5. Basically like even, shaded a little bit to the over. Giants over under 10.5. Unders minus 130.
Yeah, I would hammer that.
Oh, I love.
In fact, that's
under. I love the Giants under. Yeah, I'm right there with you.
You could parlay those two and get. You could parlay those two right now and get 2-1.
Oh wow, I'm definitely gonna play that. This might be the return of the Money Mansmann round robin. That might be returning this week, by the way. But anyway.
Ooh.
Yeah. Got to do something. I'm not winning, but yeah.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, this game to me, this was the this is the Ronald Mansmann play. He was always big on playing teams after they get embarrassed. Big step down in competition for the Seahawks compared to some of the opponents they've been playing. They played the AFC North there for a while. This is a step down in competition. The Commanders aren't as good. Now, one thing, the Commanders have covered 4 straight as road underdogs, so there is sort of something to get behind them. I don't know, man. Like, this to me, it's like if you play the Commanders, you're basically saying that Seattle's not that good of a team. I don't know if I'm completely selling on Seattle. I think they get it done here. This could be like, I faded Washington last week. Washington showed me a little something. I thought they were dead in the water. But I have to go with Seattle here. Coming back home after getting embarrassed, step down in competition, under a touchdown. I do think they'll get the job done.
Okay. I hate to say this. I'm taking the Commies.
I get it, though. I get it.
Well, you said the magic words. If you take the Commies, you have to believe Seattle's dead in the water and they're done. I said that last week. I literally told you last week in my handicap. The Seahawks were barely skating by really bad teams in the league. They were coming up short in a lot of pivotal moments. Now, in fairness, if you think the Commies are a bad team, ignore everything I am about to tell you guys right now. If you want to bet on the Seahawks after that loss to Baltimore as a 5.5, 6-point favorite, I think you're insane. Sam Howell, 4-1 ATS on the road. Washington is actually 3-1 straight up, 4-0 ATS as road underdogs this season. And Seattle, against Washington in their franchise history, 1-7 at home straight up. 0-2 for Pete Carroll. Now, Seattle might have won 3 straight at home but again, look closely. They played, what did I say? They barely scathed by really shit teams and coming up short in big moments.
Although, I don't know, that Cleveland win was not, I mean, it was close. They should have lost the game, but they won.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise, don't get me wrong. Washington's defense, they're terrible, but they're 9th ranked in passing completion percentage. They do give up like some of the most touchdowns, though. And look, I get it. I don't know. Like, they're not my dog of the week.
Yeah.
I'm not like
my feeling.
I'm not going to throw any real money on the money line. Maybe as a round robin if I get the nuts, but no, it's a Commies 5.5. I think the number's too high. In my opinion, like their offense has just been the one. The Commies' offense is the one consistency for this team, and I could see this being a game. The Commies just outscore the Seahawks. The Seahawks' defense has been pretty dreadful in a lot of moments at home. Like besides the Cardinals game, I mean, they gave up 30 to the Rams. They let PJ Walker get 20, and I mean, I'm trying to think of what the other road game
I don't
was.
know, man.
Like,
Seattle's defense just screams average to me. Like, they're just,
yeah, and Washington, they're a very up and down team this year. Like, they've lost against shit teams and they've shown up against real good ones. And again, like, call this a division system play or not, but they played the Eagles very close twice this season. They had the comeback win against Denver on the road in Denver. They beat Belichick and Foxborough, so who am I to say they can't go into Seattle and win here? Yeah, average defense, Washington, terrible defense. So with that, it's only 45.5 over of the week.
Oh wow, okay. Did I endorse that? No. Why did I have under? Why did I have under here? Oh man, there was a
So the Commies last 3 on the road. The Commies last 3 on the road have hit the under. That's my note I have here. But my opinion on this game, I think this is going to be the shootout game. This is going to be a game that's back and forth. Nobody expects it, and it's going to be a battle of Pete Carroll versus Eric Bieniemy and Ron Rivera.
You've been very high on Eric Bieniemy this year, like his biggest fan.
He should be the head coach for the Commanders, truth be told. Ron Rivera needs to go. But again, like, you look at Sam Howell's stats, you look at this offense with the Commies. I refuse to say Commanders. I'm going to just say Commies until the end of my days. They've looked really good on offense with Eric Bieniemy compared to what we've seen in the past with them. It's just Washington's defense has been blowing a lot of these games and giving up a lot of points. It's just what consistency are you getting on defense here? But I could just see this being a shootout situation.
It was actually the reason why I said under. 6 straight games where these teams have played have gone under. But I can see where you're coming from. But yeah, I don't know. To me, it's almost like Seattle is like a better version of Washington, where it's like maybe it's just coaching, but like the team's just a little better. They're like slightly above average compared to like slightly below. And
they're a veteran. Think about it this way. They're a veteran Commanders. The Commanders are a younger team, more draft picks, rookie QB. Geno Smith's been around for a while. Tyler Lockett's been there for DK Metcalf. I mean, Noah Fant's their tight end. Look at him. He's been around for the Seahawks are just an older version of what the Commanders are doing.
The crazy thing, it feels like Seattle's a quarterback away from like being, like.
I disagree.
I
disagree.
Bro, the Cincinnati game, he had a bad game. I mean, obviously, the Baltimore game was over by the first quarter. So, I don't know, man. Like, Geno, to me, he's like, okay, he's good. But, like, he reminds me of Alex Smith with Andy Reid in Kansas City. He was going to get you into the playoffs and no further. I mean, that's a discussion for another day, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, we'll move on. Sunday Night Football, the New York Jetropolitans, coming off a Monday night loss, are now laying 1 point, minus 116, the over-under 36.5. The Raiders, I guess, are a home dog at +1 now. They're minus 102. Let me say that again. The New York Jetropolitans are laying a point as a road favorite against the Raiders.
I mean, the Raiders have been bad as underdogs against the AFC East, so there's that.
I don't care. This is Chewbacca. This is straight Chewbacca. What are we doing? I don't even know if it's my turn, but fuck it. I'm going off. Like, this was my dog of the week. Why are you laying 2 points? Let alone 1.5, let alone a point. After what you saw from Zach Wilson and the Jets last week. By the way, on the look ahead, Raiders were a 2-point dog. They were a +110 money line. I hit the money line. I already knew. Oh, no. I didn't even have to handicap this. I'm hoping this goes my way, but now it's a pick'em. The reason this wasn't my dog of the week, it became a pick'em, so I moved it elsewhere. There's nothing really special I have to handicap here other than take my handicap with the Raiders and Giants game last week, remove the Giants, add the Jets. Zach Wilson cannot lead this Jets team to a win if it meant his life depended on it. The Jets are second in punts in the NFL at this point. They are second. The Giants are 50. Literally take my handicap last week, replace the Giants with the Jets, folks. And again, the Sharps, I am hearing all over, these Sharps are all over the Jets. Why are they all over the Jets? Oh, because of the Raiders? They won with Antonio Pierce, interim head coach motivation. Aiden O'Connell didn't do anything special, but Devontae only had 4 catches. You beat Tommy DeVito and the Giants? Okay, they won.
That's true.
They won pretty, hand over fist. It wasn't even close. What did the Jets do? You lost at LA 27-6? 3 fumbles? Yeah, and the argument is this. Oh, the Jets defense could beat the Raiders. Yeah, I heard the Jets defense could beat the fucking Chargers last week. I heard they could beat the Patriots. I heard they could fucking lead them to the playoffs. Here's another argument I'm going to bring up, Mansmann. Josh Jacobs could beat the Jets on his own. I made the argument that Josh Jacobs is a better and bigger threat at running back than Austin Eckler was last week. And look at locker room motivation. The Raiders locker room, they have never been more united. And they have not been more ready to play football for this head coach. The Jets are ready to implode. And when Robert Saleh was asked, hey, I know you have another backup quarterback. I know things are weird, but is there a reason you just keep starting Zach Wilson? I plead the fifth.
Oh, yeah, that was bad.
You know what the difference between the Raiders and the Jets is? The Raiders, first of all, again, this makes me sick as a Broncos fan, but as a football fan, I wish I saw more of this. For Mark Davis to apologize to the players, openly saying, I not only wasted your season, I now have to eat this bill to fire this head coach to give you what you deserve.
I like that.
I wish we got more of that. I wish we got more of that. I really do.
That's a big statement. For him to do that, especially Mark Davis, who people think of because let's be honest, that was a high profile signing. And for him to basically admit, I fucked up big time and this guy sucks.
Yeah.
That was big.
Not only that, though, the minute he did that, they benched Jimmy G for Aiden O'Connell and got a win. That's the difference between these two teams. The Jets are still just doing Jets things. They want to lose. They want to keep starting Zach. They want to still, and they're still a why? This is the most asinine bullshit thing ever. This isn't October anymore, by the way. We're into November. You know what Zach Wilson's record is as a starter outside of October? He's 1-6. Fuck being a loser. This guy's pathetic. Again, this is the 3rd season we've seen with Zach. Oh my God, he's really great in October. He might be leading them. No, this is the part he starts collapsing. He starts losing against shit teams. The team starts turning on him. I've seen this too many times. Why are the Sharps all over the Jets? I don't fucking get it. Raiders were my dog of the week. I wish I could have kept them there. It just didn't feel right to get to the people because they're a -108. It's not a dog. It's
yeah. So here's what I'll very eloquently put. By the way, this is a tough game.
I fucking hate the Jets. Jesus God,
this is a really tough game for me because this is a fade spot for the Raiders coming off the interim coach boost. Everyone feels good about themselves. They have that big win. It's the letdown spot now. The numbers look really bad. The Raiders are among the worst teams on offense in turning the ball over, which we know the one way the Jets can win, and there's a reason why I picked up the Jets defense in fantasy. One of the ways that the fucking Jets win is the other team turns the ball over and they do it. But at the same time, I'm with you. There's nothing I see from this Jets team that makes me want to bet them with a minus in front of the number at any time in any game. Like, they don't have an NFL offense. And you could go and say, oh, Zach was good in October. No, he wasn't. He had one good game against the Chiefs. Then they beat the Broncos.
And that was the Nathaniel Hackett revenge spot, quote unquote, by the way.
Then, like, no offense. I mean, I don't remember Zach doing anything in that game. I'm going to get to some of the funny numbers that we learned about on Monday Night Football last week, but they beat the Broncos, who suck. They beat, who else was it? They beat the Eagles, but Zach had a terrible game. Like, they won because
the Eagles beat themselves.
Yeah. And then they beat the Giants in a game where the Giants didn't have a quarterback. -9 passing yards. And they won by getting a tying field goal as time expired and then kicking a field goal after a pass interference to win that game. So their winning streak in October was beating two of the best teams in football, the Broncos and the Giants, and then beating the Eagles in a game where Jalen Hurts threw like 5 interceptions, and they were still going to lose the game before he threw that interception to give up a field goal to lose it. Now, how bad the Jets offense has been. Here are the fun stats. The Jets offense has not had a scoring drive, literally, like, more than one play of a touchdown, or like in 4 or 5 games now. The Jets offense has not scored more than 2 touchdowns, I think, all year. I think that's what Primetime was saying on the last Let's Talk Jets. They have not scored 2 offensive touchdowns in a game in at least like a month, if not all year. They have not scored a touchdown. 35 straight drives that have started in their own territory. That was on the Monday Night Football broadcast. Like, this offense is not bad. This offense is, like, historically atrocious. Having said that, like you said, is that a team I want to bet as a favorite? Sunday Night Football, the crowd's going to be energized, although there might be Jets fans there too. But, like,
I don't even care if there's Jets. Why? Okay, hold on. Time out. Jets fans, if you go to MetLife, I understand. Why would you spend money to go to Vegas where you know you're going to go gamble, you know you're going to lose money, and pay for a hotel to go watch the Jets lose on prime time?
Well, I will say, Tyson was talking about it. Like, he's excited to go and, like, see the stadium and shit and, like, go out there. I don't think, like, a lot of Jets fans, if they're real diehards, are like, I can't wait. Like, here's the difference. Me, us, and we'll get to this game because it's the last one. Like, I don't know about you. For me, like, I'm genuinely excited, number one, to see the stadium because I haven't been out there, like, ever.
Oh, yeah, no.
Buffalo, even though but, like, I'm excited to see this team in person, and hopefully, dear God, they put forward a fucking NFL performance. Like, I'm excited to see the team. I don't feel like Jets fans are going and it's like, boy, I can't wait to watch Zach Wilson score 6 points and fucking, give us a snooze fest.
Yeah, I hear that. Please tell me you're on the side of the Raiders, like, officially, like, please.
Yes, yeah, no. I am on the side of the Raiders, and I'm on the side of under because it's the it's the Jets offense, and I could see the Raiders if they're smart, and especially they have a defensive coach, bro. Max Crosby, another guy, sack props. Like, I hope there's a sack prop like over under like a sack or 2.
Oh, there has to be,
because I would look for that because Max Crosby is gonna have a field day against this fucking Jets team.
All right, you ready to move on?
Oh, yeah, man. That's the game.
Oh, yeah, under 37 as well for me. It's a joke. It's literally a joke. That should have been my under of the week, but I like the other. Oh, God, what was it? The Green Bay Pittsburgh. That was just too much to give up.
Yeah.
Honestly, if the Raiders scored 38, I wouldn't be shocked. All right, here we go. It's the game we've all been looking forward to, and by all, I mean me and you. We've been looking forward to this all fucking year.
I don't think anyone else is, but yeah.
No, I've heard people say this is the worst slate of primetime games this week of primetime slate of games has been the worst all year. Like, nobody is that excited except for fans of the Bills and Broncos.
To be fair, I was a little concerned this game was getting flexed, and I'm really glad it's not because it's going to be cool as shit. But yeah.
Oh, dude, no. The Monday night aspect, I will say, it's going to – this is my – I've been to a couple football games. This is my very first primetime game I can say I have ever been to. So this is a lot for me as well. And I know we're going to Buffalo. We're going to be – I'm very excited to go see the stadium. I can't wait to tailgate with Bills Mafia. I cannot wait to get my ass going to a table.
I don't know how like a tailgate works, so I don't know what you do for that. Like, I'm going to follow
you park a car. You have a cooler full of alcohol. Sometimes people bring grills. You hang out and you drink in a parking lot. And you talk to people. Like, that's literally it.
All right, man. Well,
all right, let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Oh, the Broncos, 7-point road dogs. Currently, they are plus. Oh, come on, you stupid fucking app. Every fucking time I go to switch pages. Here we go. Broncos are now plus 275, road underdogs. The Bills laying 7, minus 340 on the money line in primetime Monday Night Football. Over-under is 46.5 still. Money Mansmann. It's your team. I always give you the honors first.
Well, it's both our teams.
But
I appreciate it.
It is both our teams, but I went first the last time. And I always give you the Bills games you're on. So we're going to be there. It's going to be a fucking adventure, to say the least.
Yeah.
But as a handicapper, let's put the fandom away for a minute. Let's just look at what we see.
Yeah.
Where are you at as a sports bettor, as a Bills fan too? Like, what's going on here on your end?
Yeah. Boy, I mean, do I want to back the Bills as big favorites again? I mean, here's the problem. Like, why I don't see this being good for you. Bills actually have now. I know the Sean Payton numbers off the bye are good. Bills have won and covered 7 straight as favorites against the AFC West. They have really good numbers against this division, especially recently. And
hold on, what was your numbers?
7 straight wins and covers as favorites against the AFC West.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and continue.
Yeah. This to me just looks like a desperation game for the Bills. Like, if the Bills have any hope of the playoffs, this is the first must-win game of the year for the Bills. If they lose, you're 5-5 in the AFC with all these good teams. Like, your season is sort of quote-unquote officially done, even though to me, I think the Bills are done anyway. Like, this is not a Super Bowl team. They have good numbers against the AFC West. It's a desperation game, prime time. The talk around the Bills, there's been a lot of sort of player complaints regarding the game plan and some shots taken at the offensive coordinator. I don't know, man. This just seems like a game that the Bills need to win. They're playing no offense to you guys, a bad team coming off the bye that's had struggles on defense. I don't know, man. I just see the Bills come into play in this game. I see primetime Josh. I don't know if we're going to get it or not. Maybe this is wishful thinking. I'm not saying this is my best bet. I could just see, like, for me, it's Bills or nothing, just because I could see the Bills really, like, needing this win. Ooh. And finally they're getting, like, a step down in competition compared to sort of the, last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So
now what about your Broncos?
Yeah. All right, look, I'm not exactly advocating my Broncos money line here. I might bet the Broncos money line for shits and giggles on Sunday, depending on how the rest of my bets do, like just for fun. But yeah. Do you know who has a better ATS record in the last 15 games?
Denver Broncos.
6-8-1. Your Bills are 5-10 ATS.
Not good, man. Not good.
Now, Bills are 4-0 straight up at home. They're 7-2 straight up in ATS versus the AFC West. In the regular season, they've won and covered 5 straight. And the Broncos, well, as Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson once said, they're the biggest piece of dog shit on the road with Russell Wilson. 2-10 straight up, 4-7-1 ATS with Russ.
Are you sure you want to advocate for the Broncos, buddy?
Russ also has had road struggles on Monday Night Football, too. They're 1-5 straight up in his last 6 Monday Night Football matchups on the road. 0-2 with the Broncos, which puts the Broncos 0-7 straight up and 2-5 ATS in their last 7 Monday Night Football matches. Fade of the week. Fade the Bills at 7. Now, if it goes any lower, take the Bills. At 7 or higher, I'm advocating the Broncos.
Bro, this could be a bad one for you, man. Although I've been getting caught back in the Bills a bit too much. I will say that. I don't know, man.
Number one, the Bills have not covered a single primetime game since the Damar Hamlin matchup. 0-4 ATS this season alone. If you include the playoffs and the London game, they're 0-6 ATS. And I want to say they've only won what? They lost to the Bengals in the playoffs. They lost to the Jets on Monday night. They beat the Giants. They beat the Bucks. They lost to the Bengals. They lost to why do I feel like I'm missing one?
Let's see. Jags, Patriots. Oh God.
Jags, that's who it was. They lost to the Jags. So 2-4 straight. So 2-4 straight up. And the Bills have also struggled on Monday Night Football, and especially at home. They're 1-3 straight up and ATS with Josh Allen. They're actually 1-3 straight up in ATS in their last 4 Monday Night Football games outright. Here's the real question with this game. Are the Broncos defense going to show up in this one? Last 3 games, they've looked really, really, really good. They held the Chiefs in 2 games and the Packers in 1 to 34 points total. 4 picks, 3 fumble recoveries, 5 sacks. Now, part number 2, will Russell Wilson show up? Because Russell Wilson is going to have to show up and get like 2 touchdown passes, no turnovers, keep it on the ground, kill clock, and get the running game going. Because if they do that and they stop Josh Allen, there's a slight chance they could straight up win this game. The Bills could find a way to lose this if Josh Allen starts throwing this Denver Broncos defense on their A game. You do not want to be throwing, as you love to call, hero balls to. Because they'll pick that shit off left and right. Just ask fucking Patrick Mahomes.
Oh my God.
And like you said,
you
made this handicap too, by the way, a long time ago, but you made this handicap and you said it about the Jets. What did the Jets defense build to stop? Josh Allen.
Yeah. Who was it, Broncos? Patrick Mahomes. Oh.
How similar are they? Look at what the Jets did.
You might be winning me over a little bit, man. I wasn't. See, that's the tough thing because I'm really low on this Bills team now. I don't know what their offense is going to look like at all, or this defense.
Yeah.
I just have a big fear that this could be like one of those. I hate games like this because this will be the game the Bills win by 21, and it's like, see, the Bills are fine. They're back. They're not back.
No, but it's like you said, if the Broncos lose by like 30 to the Bills, as a Bills fan, you're like, oh, this means nothing. We still have a lot to go. As a Broncos fan, if we lose by 30, we still suck, and we're back to the rebuild. So this game needs to be close, and I just think 7 points, 7.5 points is too much. So if it's 7 or higher, I advocate fade the Bills, go for the Broncos. Anything lower, you might as well bet the Bills. All right, over under. I'm actually hitting this as an under 46.5 because I think the Broncos defense will show up.
Agree, because we've seen the Bills. They've been a lot more methodical. I expect an under game too. Hopefully not too under, because we don't want to be bored. But
no. All right. Any final words before we sign off? I think we can go over the best bets again real quick.
no, man, no. I know we've gone very long, but I kind of expected it. So yeah, what are the best bets real quick?
Best bet for me, Cincinnati Bengals. Oh, best bet for you. Double best bet for the Distinguished DeGents, -6.5, Cincinnati. Under of the week, under 37.5 for Green Bay and Pittsburgh for me. Dog of the week, I'm taking the Chargers. It's disgusting, +136. You could take the Raiders, the -108 as well. Over of the week, over 45.5, Washington, Seattle. Fade of the week, fade the Buffalo Bills if they're 7-point favorites or higher.
Gotcha. And then real quick for me, over the week, San Francisco, Jacksonville. Under of the week, and my fade of the week. So Detroit -3, under in that game. You said Cincinnati, and then the last one, dog of the week, Cleveland Browns, preferably over 7, but 6.5 is good too. All right.
Gotcha. All right, DeGents, thank you for joining us. We will catch up with you in Buffalo. I'm Big Bucks Beta.
Money Mansmann.
Signing off, and as always, go win that motherfucking money.
money.